Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello and welcome to episode 138 of the Film Blurs. I'm Jeff Stewart, aka Uncle Jeffrey, aka J.O.T.'s Dynamite, aka Revengeman Button, He Who Remains, Petty Ruxpin, Jobu Tupaki, Little Tom, Black Giovanna Ribisi, Chocolate Tarantino, Ebony Spielberg, and I'm from around the way. I'm leaving here with something. Right? I'm leaving here with something. And I'm joined here, as always, with my friend and co-host.
What's up, you fucking ball bags? My name's Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, moving backwards in time, saving battered wives and their kids while listening to Travis Scott, a.k.a. The Lethal Protector. Eddie, our movie's not making as much as the last two. a.k.a. a.k.a. The Zooted God, a.k.a. Mr. Krusty. I don't want to miss that nooch. A.k.a. I want a Subaru Outback with mad strippers in the back giving shape-ups. A.k.a. the true father of Joe, Kanye, and Drake's kids. The checks are cashing. A.k.a. D's Nuts. A.k.a. B-Wood, the Mob Deeb. Call me your Messiah. And also, before I forget, a.k.a. my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other.
All right, there we go.
So sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Nah, it's all right. It's a distracted kind of week.
Yeah. I just want to say this, and this is all I'm going to say. Everything that's going to happen, we deserve. All you motherfuckers, like y'all motherfuckers who voted for it, y'all motherfuckers are going to suffer the worst out of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a political show in the least, but I'm shocked but not surprised. Right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Literally a quarter, like a good portion of the population didn't vote, and that's how we got here. And the other population, y'all are just stupid, and because of all you motherfuckers who didn't vote, now you're just as scared as the rest of us. So, I mean, look at you now.
Well, let's just keep moving forward, and it's fucking ringside seats to the apocalypse.
Oh yeah. Look, I hope I hit the lottery soon because I'm trying to build my storm shelter. My fallout shelter, like fucking Michael Shannon and Take Shelter.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to New Zealand.
I'll be beating people up too, just like him in fucking Take Shelter. Well, you think I'm crazy? I'll be at potlucks flipping over tables and beating up niggas. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm crazy, huh?
Well, there we go.
So. On this show, we talked about, before we get into what have we watched lately, on this show, we've talked about how Nolan and Jordan Peele are developing new IMAX cameras. Well, last week, the CEO, Richard Gelfond, came out and was just like, yeah, Nolan's next movie is going to be the first movie to shoot on them shits. And I'm like, fuck, they built them shits fast.
Hey, look, it's big. There's big money in IMAX. So there's a lot of money to go into research and development and all that shit. So, like, I'm not surprised it came out that fast.
I am. Just because those cameras are big, but I'm guarantee you, like, the biggest change that they made to those motherfuckers is probably bigger loads, because IMAX can only shoot, like, 5 or 10 minutes at a time, and the noise, because those cameras sound like a fucking tractor's going.
Right.
Which is still amazing to me that he was able to do Oppenheimer with those cameras, because that's a dialogue heavy movie, and you gotta like put so many blimps around that camera to muffle the noise. So I'm pretty sure the noise reduction is also a thing, and hopefully this means more movies can shoot in IMAX 70 millimeter, because now there's going to be more cameras, because
Right.
there were cameras and then they started getting either phased out because of no upkeep or because Nolan would fucking break them shits making his movies.
And hopefully with more cameras, more film shooting on it, it means we'll finally get more IMAX theaters.
Yeah, start building more giant IMAXs. Like I don't have anything against the digital IMAXs, but like some of them are fucking janky, bro.
Right.
Like the one near us, that's pretty fucking janky. The one in Times Square, like that shit's shameful, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, like I look. Hopefully, y'all start building more giant IMAXs, so that way also it meets supply and demand. Because getting tickets for this Interstellar re-release only playing in 8 theaters in North America, and so 10 theaters in total in North America. 2 are in Canada, so 8 theaters in the United States.
Right, and it doesn't make sense, because they have seen over the last 2 years that big budget IMAX films, especially re-releases or extended plays, can make bank.
Yo, man, I'm like, yo, how the fuck did Tenet play in more IMAX theaters for its re-release than fucking Interstellar? It makes no sense. Cause it was, I want to say it was like 20, 30 theaters that Oppenheimer played in the US. And I'm like, y'all can't get that shit ready for Interstellar? Like, that's one of his most popular fucking movies. So like, good luck if you're trying to see it in IMAX 70, because that shit's basically done. You're just gonna have to wait and see if you're gonna be part of the digital IMAX release, because they said tickets for that go on sale later this month.
Yeah, so more theaters. More theaters, man. Please.
Giant ones. I'm talking about giant IMAXs. Like more giant IMAXs equipped with the IMAX 70 projectors. And if you can't do IMAX 70 projectors, invest in the dual laser, because it doesn't make sense that you have this giant ass screen and only has a single laser projector. So you can't even like fucking utilize the full fucking screen. Oxymoron shit. So, also before we move on, Ridley Scott's been talking a lot lately. He also got into his stories of dealing with Joaquin on both Gladiator, the OG one, and now Napoleon. And you know, Russell Crowe's been calling him out on that shit too. He's like, yeah, that shit was unprofessional.
I mean, we're not going to see Joaquin for a while.
Oh no!
Like, yeah, that's over with, because like he's been notoriously difficult, right, throughout his whole entire fucking career. But you know, notoriously difficult but bankable. With the failure of the newest Joker film and his bullshittery, like he's gonna have to, burn a candle to the patron saint of Hollywood fuck ups, Robert Downey Jr., and hope for a reprieve, a reprieve. But yeah, he's gonna have to lay low for a while. No one's. He's not as bad as what's his name? Who's the Flash?
Ezra's career is done. But here's my thing about Joaquin. Like, he's a good actor. I'm not gonna even hold him to that. He's a good actor, just not worth the trouble. Like, the only other notorious actor who's extremely difficult is Daniel Day-Lewis. But at least you know you're gonna get the performance of a lifetime when you work with him.
Right. Like, I mean, there's nothing I've seen from Joaquin that justifies this level of assholery.
Yeah, I mean, man.
I'm not shitting on his talent. I'm not, like, at all. He is a talented actor. but
It is not
honestly,
worth it. It's not worth
right.
it.
Yeah.
It absolutely not, bro. Like if
Right.
I've said this and I'm gonna keep saying this. Why would I? And this goes even for Daniel Day. Why would I want to like making a movie is already stressful enough, and as a director, you're already juggling like a million fucking things at one time. Why do then I have to cradle somebody's fucking fragile ego when I can go see a Broadway play, see an actor give an amazing fucking performance, and then just go up to him and be like, "Yo, so like you wanna be in this movie?"
Yeah, like, and I get it though. Like bankability, you got to be able to put a star on the poster to sell tickets and shit like that. But like, Joaquin isn't the dude who's gonna sell your picture, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, not anymore because that Todd Haynes movie, right? All the overseas sales was based on him being in that movie,
mm, yeah,
and
yeah, you know.
because
But
everybody still wants to make the movie, they just can't now.
so hopefully he has some money, socked away.
Yeah, hold on to
Or
that 20 million from Folie à Deux that you got up front.
yeah, and your residuals, because like you're
Yeah,
gonna be.
man, you're gonna be toxic for a minute. Like you might, honestly, he might just be a supporting man for here on out. Like, oh, we need Joaquin for about like 2-3 weeks. Cool.
I mean, look what fucking happened to Johnny Depp. You know, like he's doing direct to video shit now.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
he also has a new movie coming soon, though.
oh, does he?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like wide release?
yeah,
Oh shit! Well, there you go. But
yeah,
it's been a minute though. You know.
yeah. But look, all I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, bro, you're hot till you're not. You know what I'm saying? You can be on
Right.
top one day. I mean, look at Nicolas Cage. He was the king, and
Yeah.
look, Al Pacino. Even Al Pacino said, "I did Jack and Jill without reading the script because I had $300 million in my bank account, and then a few years later, I'm down to 20." And then he's like, there came a point then I got down to 1 million, and I remember reading that, and I was just like, well, nigga, first off, yeah, that's on because of your bankability, but also too, if you blow through $300 million, bro, that's on you.
No, it got stolen.
Oh, it did.
It was like it was his accountant and manager and shit like that. It's one of those deals.
Oh,
Like,
that's scumbag shit.
always keep an eye on your money. Always keep an eye on your money.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. That's fucking scumbagish, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, this is why I wouldn't listen. I don't mind having a manager and an agent, but as far as an accountant, I don't trust an accountant.
Right. Well, but you should be able to trust an accountant, but you should also do your due diligence and like look at that shit at least quarterly.
Oh yeah. Like check your bank account. Like every Friday morning, I get a text message from my bank telling me how much money I have. And if
Right.
something don't look right, I log into my account and I'll be like, all right, where did I overspend or what happened here? And I look at it and make sure everything is copacetic before I start wigging out. You know what I mean?
Right. But yeah. No, so that wasn't Al Pacino's fault. That was some shady shit.
All right. Fuck.
But still,
Yeah.
keep an eye on your money.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Look, at a certain point, if I'm down, like even if I have 300 million, I get to 100. Even once I get to 100 million, I'm gonna be like, wait, where did 200 million go?
Right.
That's just me,
Right.
bro.
There's not that many fucking ocelots out there to purchase.
What are you watching?
All right, what have I been watching lately? It's actually been a pretty light week for me because it's the end of the world and whatnot. I've been watching everything burn, but also I did a little work for the campaign, so I've been so busy doing that. The failed campaign. So mostly TV. So let's jump into it. I started watching the franchise on HBO Max. And if you don't know, the franchise is a situation comedy, I guess, or comedy drama, whatever you want to fucking call it, about the making of a superhero movie. It is not so subtly taking a dig at the Marvel and DC fucking movie machine. And I know this is supposed to be funny, but as someone who has worked in the film industry, who's been on set and everything like that, it's honestly kind of triggering because like I see all of that shit happening in there. I mean, it's humorous, but it's also just fucking very spot on. And to actually see the idiocy and the hubris and the ego of what goes into making a superhero movie, uh, it's it's off putting. Yeah, like it makes me not want to watch any more superhero movies after seeing like the fuckery behind the scenes. I mean, it's well acted, it's well written. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't find it as humorous as it thinks it should be. And the one glaring thing that I hate about it is the fucking soundtrack. Right? It's this poppy techno bullshit. It sounds like fucking robots finger banging, and it does not work for what we're watching. So right now we're on episode 5. I'm gonna stick it out. It's interesting enough. I actually want to see if they complete this fucking movie without everyone losing their minds or blowing their heads off. So that's the franchise on HBO Max. Also on HBO Max, one of the best shows to come out in the last couple of months. It's Florida Man. So, the legend of Florida Man, right? We all know it. It's the if you look at a newspaper, it's always like a Florida man eats his wife, or a Florida man fucking crashes a jet ski into a preschool. It's that type of weird shit. So, this show is comical reenactments of actual news stories from Florida. And it's just as weird and wild as you would think. The show pretty much is drunk history if they were sober and on meth. Yeah. So it's Florida Man. We're 3 episodes in. It's it explains a lot. It explains a lot of why we are where we are right now. So give that a try. Moving on from that, what we do in the shadows. Like I said, it's entering its it is the last season of the show, and it is actually getting better. Right, like I've loved this show throughout its whole entire run, but now everyone is we're closing in on all of their arcs. There's growth, there's expansion of character. I I I'm looking forward to how they're going to wrap everything up, but I'm sad to see the show go, right? But knowing the creators, knowing the writing staff, knowing the actors, it probably is going to be one of the best season finales for a comedy that we've gotten in a while, right? I think it's going to wrap up everything really nicely and be utterly satisfying. So, yeah, what we do in the shadows, it's my comfort show. Like I can go back from season 1 and just put this shit on and just have it on the background and feel better about life. Moving on from that, we are going to talk about I finally saw The Infiltrator. And that's also on HBO Max. It's been an HBO Max sort of week. Uh, the Infiltrator is the story of a forensic accountant for the customs, administration, who's just really, really good at his job, and he's sent in to infiltrate the Colombian cartels, and it's your basic undercover uh fucking drug kingpin whatever movie, but the talent on display elevates it. John Leguizamo's in this. Fucking Walter White's in this. I can't think of his name right now. Bryan Cranston's in this, right? Um, and it's like I said, it's not going to change the game, right? It's not the best undercover cop movie you've ever seen, but it is well crafted, uh, and worth a look. I'm surprised it actually didn't get more burn when it first came out. All right, moving on from that, because it's just been a fucking horrible, shitty week. I have gone to my go-to for when I have a horrible, shitty week. I start binge watching Tony Scott films, because I have never not liked a Tony Scott film. I've always walked out of a Tony Scott film at least fucking entertained.
So we should, because we forgot to talk about it, we should talk about it real quick.
What do we got to talk about?
Days of Thunder 2.
Yeah. The only Tony Scott film I've actually never seen.
And it's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Look, I've not met one person who likes the motherfucker. And I've talked about it on this show before. I talked about
behind the scenes,
the whole making of this motherfucker. Look, F1 comes out in June. I don't see why you're gonna do it. Like, we've had so many racing movies since then. Like, we've just had Gran Turismo last year. Need for Speed. Like, there's been all Fast and Furious. Like, there's been all these racing movies, and what was the one fucking Ron Howard did?
Rush.
Like, Senna had an amazing documentary.
Right. You got Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, man. Like, at this point, I'm just like, bro, I think like what they're doing in F1, especially watching that trailer in front of a movie I'm gonna review in the main review, I'm just like, well, there's just no point in doing that shit, man.
Well, here's the thing. Like, Tom Cruise needs another hit, because this Mission Impossible thing, that last Mission Impossible movie, it wasn't a flop, but the franchise is showing its wear, right? It's showing its age, right?
And they're saying this one, because of all the shutdowns and strikes, has also gone north of 300 million.
Right.
So the fact that Tom Cruise wants to continue this franchise and Paramount's like, yo, we don't want to make anymore, and Tom's like, no, I'm making these till I'm 80.
Yeah, like, so Tom Cruise needs another hit, right? And his last super hit was a legacy sequel to a movie he was in.
It was Top Gun Maverick. Like, and the same article also said that's the reason why Days of Thunder's being resurrected, because it was going to be resurrected as a Paramount Plus show, and Tom came in and was like, nope.
Right.
And I'm just like, who gives a nope? Like, Tom has to understand, literally nobody gives a fuck about Days of Thunder.
Like, I don't know anyone who's actually seen Days of Thunder.
And here's the thing, right? Top Gun, the first Top Gun, I don't like at all. And it's part of the holy trinity of cinematic caucasity. But when they announced Top Gun 2, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I can see, because it's been so long, there's probably new shit to do. And it's really one of the best movies ever made. I don't think they're going to do that with Days of Thunder. And one of the reasons why Top Gun Maverick was so good, besides, the script and all the actors who were in it, it was because of Joseph Kosinski. And Joseph Kosinski, he's literally doing F1 right now.
Right.
Like, that is one of the most expensive movies. Like they said, it's $330 million because they built fucking F1 racing cars with new cameras so they can do in-camera pans and all this type of shit. Because watching that trailer again, watching Brad Pitt drive that car and he's trying to make sure that dude's not passing in front of him, like it's an extended shot of him just keep looking over.
Right.
Like, and that's really him driving the car. Like they said they did that shit so Brad and Damon Idris can be in those cars going 100 miles per hour.
Yeah. So like I know Days of Thunder 2 or whatever half-assed name they come up with is going to be nearly as good or successful as Maverick was, or as good as F1's going to be, right? So,
and his ex-wife is also like one of the top build people in Days of Thunder. Like she ain't coming back for Days of Thunder 2.
I mean, like honestly, you could. It's a legacy sequel. They're going to be setting it up for this new team of fucking NASCAR racers. The blah 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 blah. It's going to be boring.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like that's the reason why everybody watches everything but NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, we already had a great NASCAR movie. It was called Talladega Nights.
Yeah, right. Talladega
That's
Nights was literally a parody of fucking Days of Thunder.
Yeah. So if you want Days of Thunder to watch Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
One of Christopher Nolan's favorite movies.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that.
He did. He said it. He's like, if you're not first place, you last.
Right. Fucking
He did it.
Shake and bake, baby.
Yeah, man. He was on a podcast doing imitations and quoting lines in the Ricky Bobby voice. I was just like, oh, this nigga's a fan. Like he says he watches it once a year.
Yeah. Like it's my Will Ferrell theory. Will Ferrell is too future for us, right? So whenever I see a Will Ferrell movie, I hate it initially. Then a year later, I'll go back and watch it. It'll be the greatest thing I've ever seen. Right?
Like,
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, yeah.
I hated Step Brothers, right?
I love that. Yeah. That's just hilarious.
I went back and was like, this is fucking next level genius.
Yes.
Right? So Will Ferrell is just too future for us.
I watched that recently the other day. I've traveled 500 miles to give you my seed. Lumberjack.
Oh, fuck. Like I'm gonna watch some Will Ferrell movies this weekend because I need the serotonin boost.
Yeah, I need to watch that too. And I want to rewatch Talladega Nights. Real quick before I let you get back to it, Jeff. I just thought about it. Fucking Step Brothers is like the only movie that has a rape, and you're just like, well,
yeah,
because Catherine Hahn straight up rapes John C. Reilly in that movie.
Yeah. Ah, well,
Because any other time you're just like, ugh, fuck. And John C. Reilly, it's so wet and squishy.
Oh shit! I'm gonna watch that tonight. God damn it! Fucking Step Brothers.
I like it. I love the end of the movie too. I can't be fucking around with you. I got a family. And then she starts to walk away. She's like, no, you call me.
Oh, fucking Will Ferrell, thank you. You're American treasure.
They do the Pavarotti song, the Andre Bocelli song. No.
It's
the fucking Catalina wine mixer. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Whew. Oh shit.
Boats and hoes. That's
have
me my boats and hoes.
That's actually a karaoke song. You can go out and do.
Oh yeah, come on, bro. I went to see that shit in theaters, and the whole theater walked out singing that shit. Boats and hoes. Like seeing going on opening night. You met Tony, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going opening night with Tony, and we see that at Market Fair, sold out crowd. When Market Fair was still janky, and I was like, damn, it's even sold out here, and everybody's just fucking dying the entire time.
It's fucking American. It's fucking American treasure. There should
I'm a
be.
teabag you. I'm a fucking teabag your drum set.
I still use. Did we just become best friends? You know.
Fuck, I got yo. Fuck that. I'm gonna buy Step Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy
So,
Step.
like America needs Will Ferrell more than ever.
Yeah, Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. They need to kiss and make up.
Yeah. Let's get back to making some genius.
And have John C. Reilly in there. Another holy trifecta.
So anyway, moving on. Tony Scott retrospective. I know I've talked about this movie before, but I'm going to keep on talking about it. Fucking Unstoppable. I don't know how a movie about a runaway train is this fucking entertaining. And then I realized it's a Tony fucking Scott movie. Tony Scott, R.I.P., could make anything fucking interesting. Maybe not the best movie, but at least it's fucking entertaining. And Unstoppable, starring Denzel Washington and Chris Pine on a runaway train, is just some good old fucking popcorn enjoyment, some endorphin rush type shit. I think I've seen Unstoppable 3 times this year, right? Because whenever you can't, and everyone goes through this, like, you don't want to watch anything new. You don't want to start anything new, and you don't want to put the energy.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And like, there's just so much content and shit like that out there that you're just like, let me go back to something I know I enjoy.
Listen, you need, especially now, we're going to be talking about movies we've seen like 20 times for like the next 4 years.
Right, yeah.
Because we just need comfort food.
Yeah. So Unstoppable, it's on HBO Max. If you haven't seen it, fucking do it. I guarantee you'll enjoy this goddamn movie. Moving on from that, Frankie FREAKO. It's you can watch it on Amazon, pay whatever, $5. Imagine if the Cheddar Goblin sketch from Mandy was turned into an entire movie. That's pretty much what Frankie FREAKO is. I did not enjoy it at all. I got bored and had to turn it off 40 minutes in, and then only just returned to it earlier this week just to finish it out for the show. And I'm a sucker for fucking puppets. I'm a sucker for fucking dirty ass, nasty, bonkers puppet movies. And this
so you're going to see Memoir of a Snail?
Yeah. I look, if it has a puppet in it, and if the puppets are cursing, I'm there.
Oh yeah, that movie's rated R, but they also say it'll make you cry.
Yeah. Because unknown fact, there was a time where I wanted to actually be a puppeteer for Children's Television Network. So like, I'm a sucker for puppets. This movie's horrible. Yeah, it's not funny at all. The premise is horrible. I don't like anybody in it. It's another one of those 80s, like modern day 80s throwback where you think you put a fucking filter on there and have someone put some shoulder pads in their suits, and you call it a fucking period film. It's it's not good. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I don't want to put any more energy into talking about Frankie FREAKO. Maybe someone will like it out there. If you want some weird fucking puppet space alien office culture bag of shit, yeah, Frankie FREAKO. And the next one, I guess I'll wait because we got to talk about the last episode of The Penguin.
Yeah, that'll be a handshake, as we do with shit we watch. It's a handshake turnover,
Right.
a segue.
There we go.
As we like to call it.
Yeah. Honestly, The Penguin is pretty much one of the best comic book properties that's ever been created, bar none. It's a great fucking crime show in of itself, but then you think of it as the larger uh world of comic books or established characters that we've known for decades. This is a triumph. And this last episode where we get Oz's backstory, we realize, like all throughout this movie, all throughout this show, we know he's a bad guy, but we're still rooting for him. After this episode, you realize how much of a fucking sociopath he's always been.
Nah, I was done with him after episode 4. Like episode 4 where it shows what happened to what's her face?
Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia. I was like, oh fuck this guy. And like now they really doubled down. Like they're trying to spell it out for you and be like, bro, you're not supposed to root for this motherfucker.
Right. Yeah. It is heartbreaking, masterfully acted, directed, shot. I don't want to give anything away if you haven't watched the episode or if you haven't watched the show, but the Penguin, it shouldn't be this good, right? Honestly, it makes everything that we've gotten from like Marvel, especially when it comes to TV, look amateurish for the most part. Because this is I hate to say this, I hate to be this dude. This is high art. Honestly. This is high storytelling art.
I really hope the rumors are true that because WB is so impressed by how this show's been received and how good it is, that this is basically a bridge between Batman and Batman Part 2, and now how I hope that Batman Part 2 and Part 3, the rumor is the Joker will have his own series and will be a bridge between those two movies, so that way he'll be the main antagonist in the third movie because Matt Reeves is going to hold off on using him in 2.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the plan, fucking let's do it. Let's go.
And I know a lot of people are like, well, I've heard that Barry Keoghan isn't coming back as the Joker and they're going to dump him as the Joker. And I'm like, bro, he's out here promoting like 5 different indie movies that he's in. And they keep asking him like, what's good with the Joker? And he's just like, bro, every time he's just like, bro, I wish I could tell you, but I can't. He's like, I literally cannot fucking talk about this shit. Like for he's like, legally, it's out of my hands.
Yeah. Like, how about we finish what we have in front of us before we start thinking about our next meal? Right.
Right. And you know what? I love Barry Keoghan. I would love to see, what exactly his Joker is capable of. But also, like, I trust Matt Reeves and the team he's assembled for this, as he calls it, the Batman Epic Crime Saga. That's officially the title of his universe, the Batman Epic Crime Saga.
Love it.
A mouthful, but, apt and accurate. I trust everything that he's built in this world and continues to build, because he said even once the trilogy is done, he's still going to oversee this because there's more projects he wants to come from this.
Yeah. Like, so let them cook. Don't spoil your appetite. How about we just enjoy what's in front of us right now?
Right.
And like, just trust that they're going to give you more than what you wanted. They're going to give you something
lucky
special.
that we got a movie star like Colin Farrell doing this.
Right. 100%.
Like, be fucking happy that he's doing this and doing one of the best performances of his career.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys. Like, also, this is perfect just to hold me over to when the Batman comes out, because, man, it was a long road to get that movie to the screen for many different reasons. And now, again, it's taken so much to get Part 2 to the screen just because many different reasons. Like, it's just, Matt Reeves, every time he goes to make a movie, man, these past two have been impossible tasks just because, diseases, strikes, shutdowns, fucking
Gatekeepers.
gatekeepers. Like it's rough.
Yeah, but it's worth the wait. So like I don't want Marvel, right? I don't want to be inundated with all of these properties. I want them to take their time and do it right and make me want it.
Well, I'm gonna start this then with my fucking rewatches. Halloween night, because Halloween fell on a Thursday, and it won't fall on a Thursday again until 2023 or 2032 or 2033. Anyway, so 2030 or anywhere between 2030 and 2033, Halloween will fall on a Thursday again. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch Batman. Cause how's it open? Thursday, October 31st.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There we go.
Yeah, Halloween night. Love it too. Must be your favorite night of the year, huh, pal? Happy fucking Halloween. And watching the movie, I just got mad. I just fucking got mad because I'm just like, we could be doing this shit with this superhero shit where it has a clear authorial voice. It has a stylistic, distinct look and vision to it and feel to it. And we just choose not to make these shits like this.
No, because, we're not making movies, we're making product.
Like, somebody recently asked Jeffrey Wright, like, why'd you do it? And he's like, I read the script. And if you read the script, you'd also be like, why wouldn't I do this? And somebody asked Paul Dano, too. They're like, you always shit on comic book movies, but you did the Batman and you wrote the Riddler comic book. He's like, yeah, because number one, it's fucking Batman. And number two, we made a real fucking movie.
Right. Like, it's barely a comic book movie.
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah. Just like the Penguin's barely a comic book show.
Right.
But here's the thing. Unlike Joker, both the Batman and the Penguin aren't afraid of its comic book origins.
Right. 100%. And it's not fan servicey, right? You watch the Penguin, it's its own thing. If you've seen the Batman, then the Penguin gets better. You'll see the connections, but you never have to have seen the Batman in order to enjoy this show.
Get this. Todd Phillips was so pretentious about Joker that he told WB no merch because he wanted to reiterate it that it's not a comic book movie. And I'm like, fucking Nolan had a video game come out for Batman Begins. He has all types of merch for The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Like, there's action figures out the ass. People still dress as fucking Heath Ledger's Joker. Like get over yourself, you fuck.
Like, how do you think your movie gets paid for? Like,
fucking, there's Dune Monopoly and Dune Risk. And people have bought Dune Risk and said it's the best version of Risk you can have.
Right? Like, that's part of the thing when you make these mega budget movies. They have to make money on all fronts. So, like, if there has to be an action figure, like, dude, you made a movie that has an action figure.
That's a high compliment, honestly.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, man. Like, me personally, if I make one of these movies, I want a portion of the fucking merch proceeds, honestly.
Fucking, do that, do what fucking what happened with Star Wars, right? Like, George Lucas kept all of the merch rights.
Yep, and that's how he became a billionaire.
Yeah.
And ever since then, every studio was like, yeah, we that shit's never happening again.
Yeah. So like
excuse me.
It is what it is, but like,
also, get over yourself, man. Get the fuck over yourself. It's a movie. Fucking even Goodfellas has merch. Fucking Scarface has merch.
Yeah, so like, it's the game. It really is the game. You should be lucky that you made something that's so beloved that people want to buy things associated with the thing you made.
And bro, that's the whole thing, is like memorabilia and film memorabilia. Like, film buffs collect all types of shit. They collect film soundtracks on vinyl. They'll collect movie posters. They'll collect these $1,000 figurines of a character. Like,
And honestly, that's like that shows that you've made it. When you
yeah,
have merch.
man. Yeah, man. Like, fuck, man. If they came out with fucking, I know Nolan was working on, like, think about it. Nolan was working on an Inception video game.
Yeah, that would have been
It
crazy.
never happened, but he said he spent like 3 or 4 years working on that motherfucker.
Yeah, that would have been fucking crazy. But like, you
Get over yourself, man.
well, I mean, he is over himself now because that movie, right? You can catch it now on fucking Amazon Prime and all your services. You can
Oh
buy
yeah,
it
and it's gonna
right
hit HBO Max next week.
Wow.
Jeff,
Wow.
look at the fucking returns on the motherfucker.
Yeah. Yo, I know. It's just like
They've made like they've lost. They said anywhere between $200 and $300 million on it.
yeah. Well,
But you don't want to put Looney Tunes in theaters. You could easily
Right.
make some money off that motherfucker.
Fucking
Looney
heck.
Tunes.
Coyote versus Acme,
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Speaking of, y'all, very soon I will be seeing a Looney Tunes movie that was picked up from Ketchup Entertainment from Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers also tried deleting this movie into oblivion, and I've heard nothing but great things about this. So if this motherfucking Looney Tunes movie I'm gonna see in a couple of weeks is as good as everybody says, I'm gonna start a campaign for Coyote versus Acme, because nah, bro, I want to see that. Like, get out of here. Just the title alone is hilarious.
Right.
No.
And like
No.
everyone who's seen it says it's the best live action animated hybrid since
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the next generation. No, bro. Bugs Bunny, one of the mascots for that studio, is being treated like a fucking second-class citizen.
There are motherfuckers out there right now rocking Bugs Bunny t-shirts, and
Yeah.
jackets, and merch.
Yeah.
Like, people love that shit. So give it to them.
Looney Tunes is so popular that we put a professional athlete in a movie with Looney Tunes, and it's one of the
Twice.
biggest.
I mean,
the first time,
right.
It was one of the biggest cultural movies of all time. Like, that movie ruled in '96. Like, it fucking made money, had a huge soundtrack, sold infinite amounts of merch. Like,
Right.
It was Bugs Bunny. The whole movie was just like, bro, it's Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan playing basketball against a bunch of aliens. That's fucking cool. And they
Right.
sold a whole ass movie on it. I own that movie, Jeff.
Look, motherfuckers are still talking about Space Jam, right? Like, know where the bread's coming from. Yeah, like, know where your money's coming from.
Oh my god, dude! Seeing all the shit he said recently, we can't be too surprised.
Yeah, well, look,
him and Bezos, because as soon as I saw that Bezos shit, I was like, you know what? I don't even use Amazon that much to keep paying for this shit. So, see ya. And you know what? I'll renew Amazon when Reacher comes back. When Reacher comes back, I'll pay the $7.99 a month for Prime. And then once I finish, you're out of here.
I mean, honestly, that's where we are. That's where everybody is. Like the shows that you love, you'll only pay for the service when that show is on.
Yeah, because we switched. I kept to my word. Me and my brother, we all canceled all of our plans and finally got the HBO Hulu Max bundle. And we're like, all right, $30 a month. So that's $10 a pop a month, versus I was going to be renewed next week on Disney Plus. They were going to charge me $170.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? It is literally cheaper just to pay the $30 a month for this fucking bundle than pay that up front, and then pay the $200 for HBO Max, and then pay the $90 for Hulu.
Yeah, no, like they're nickel and diming us, and it's going to collapse under their own.
Yeah. Like I had a talk with my boy Andre yesterday, and he was just like, the biggest fuck up here was every studio thinking they needed their own streaming service when everybody should have just did what Sony's doing, which is like, hey, you're our official streaming home for all of our movies, but we take a cut. We take a little bit of cut.
Right. And like there's no work for you. There's no infrastructure. There's no upkeep. There's no
Right.
marketing.
Right. Because then I would be paying $30 a month for Netflix if that's all there was.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Because when the recession hits, nobody's gonna be able to afford any of this shit.
Look, we'll be back to reading books.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get straight into something I keep forgetting to talk about, Jeff, which is Law and Order. The past few episodes of Law and Order this season have been amazing. Like, there's a whole episode where Benson is the antagonist on the main Law and Order show. Great episode, and you'll see why. It has to deal with rape. Reed Scott's character has a really great episode with his brother where I'm just like, damn, bro, if that was my brother, I would hope he would do the same to me, which is cut me off and put me in jail. Because, like, there's some real scumbag shit. I want to say the chemistry between Reed Scott and Makad Brooks this season is really starting to get good and better. I really like their dynamic now. Now that Catherine Mannheim is gone as Dixon, having more attorney in there as just this weird antisocial captain is also really good because now they're getting used to her, Nolan, and the DA's office. They are trying to get insulated, and these cases have them struggling with morality in exciting new ways. Like seriously, y'all. This season of Law and Order so far has been top notch, and I cannot wait to watch this week's later tonight. I hope organized crime comes back soon. Now, moving on, I want to get to The Old Man. The Old Man season 2, it finished a couple of weeks ago. I didn't get to talk about it, but like this whole show is really about Alia Shawkat's character. And it's crazy just how much this character has grown into what she becomes by the end of the show. Like, she really is like a powerful force now. Like, it's crazy to me that she's going to be the linchpin for season 3. And I do hope this gets a third season because that cliffhanger in the season finale is pretty fucking significant. I can't spoil too much, but also Amy Brennan, her character has really come into her own too, and really it's all around fantastic. Like, really good shit. I like Old Man season 2, man. I know a lot of people been hating on it, but I really have enjoyed this. I need to read the novel. That's probably why I've enjoyed it, because I haven't read the novel. But damn, bro, John Lithgow and Jeff Bridges have never been better, and like, man, they cannot leave. Like, FX better renew it, because like. And also to the showrunners, John Lithgow and Jeff Bridges aren't going to be around forever, so maybe start wrapping this shit up with season 3. Moving on, I want to talk about Only Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the Building has been really fucking great this season. Everything kind of comes full circle. I did not see the killer coming in this, really didn't, and the way they handled it was really surprising, really well done. I'm very excited for what season 5 is gonna bring us, because I hope this show goes on forever, because I have a feeling like we're kind of reaching the end, but like this season was so good, so well put together, and so much fun. Such a step up from season 3, because I thought season 3 was a slump, but like, man, oh man, I'm excited for season 5. And finally, I want to talk about the John Mulaney episode of SNL. John Mulaney, Chappel Roan. First, I want to say about Chappel Roan, her hooks are catchy, so I understand why she is as big as she is. However, very disappointed she didn't do Hot to Go, because that song's been stuck in my head for like almost a month now. I've only heard it 2 times, and both times by accident. It's one of the biggest songs out right now. She decided not to do it. I don't know. That's just a weird choice. Surprise appearance by Kamala and Tim Kaine, and now I'm just like, it's fucking for moot. John Mulaney at these episodes. Now, first and foremost, great seeing Pete Davidson back, especially for the musical number. But like, even the musical in this episode was not as good as the past episodes he's hosted. I don't know what happened here, but usually his episodes are the best, and this episode was weak sauce, like real weak sauce. Man, I'm gonna be real with you. I was disappointed. I wasn't feeling it. Hopefully this could be. I'm hoping Bill Burr's episode this week is much better than John Mulaney's, because like I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed with John Mulaney's episode. All right, let's get into some movies now. Movies is gonna be light because I've been busy doing working and being promoted at my outreach job, and now since that's all been for moot. Anyways, I'm gonna start with The Hangover. I decided, I was like, you know what? Let's watch the movie that really blew Todd Phillips into the atmosphere. I haven't watched it since it came out. What was it? Fucking 10 years ago, maybe more. Anyways, it's been a minute. Still funny, not as good as I remembered though. It's definitely aged in good and bad ways, but like it is still funny. And watching it now, I'm just like, it is wild that this spawned a trilogy. Really wild. Moving on from The Hangover, because there ain't nothing much else to say. Let's move into Despicable Me 4, because it's on Peacock. Is it the worst one? No, that would still be either the first Minions or Despicable Me 3, but like, damn, bro, this shit has no plot whatsoever. It just moves from scene to scene. And also, Gru's twin brothers at the end, when they do that terrible cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World, they're playing just random pop songs in this motherfucker. Like, yeah, it was just cool watching it on Peacock. I honestly,
Yeah.
if I had a kid and I had to take my kid to see this shit in theaters, I'd be fucking pissed.
Despicable Me 4 is the only Despicable Me that I've actually seen, and if that was the level of quality, I don't need to see the rest of them, personally.
No, first one's good. The first one really is good, and you can see how Illumination built their backs off that first one.
Right.
But that's it. Rewatched Venom: The Last Dance in IMAX 3D this past weekend. And yeah, man, on a rewatch, I'm like, yeah, the only one now I can say I enjoyed is Let There Be Carnage. Because on this shit is so boring, honestly, on a rewatch, because there's just places where it's funny the first time, and the second time you're just like, this is just stupid. And I started falling asleep at points. 45 minutes of this movie's in IMAX, and it's wild what they decide to have in IMAX and what's not in IMAX. That I guess it's just like the movie itself, just fucking nonsensical, and just you're just like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? Why the fuck not? Yeah, I will never watch this again, ever. 3D was cool, 3D is real cool, but like, yeah, I feel like I'll just put on Let There Be Carnage, because like this shit. I didn't recommend it in our episode where we reviewed it, and I definitely definitely do not waste your fucking money on this. And it seems like a lot of you took that to heart, because this motherfucker is like underperforming now, because that second weekend drop was significant. That is it. Let's move into trailer talk.
Roll camera and action!
It's time for some trailer talk.
Skeleton Crew Star Wars comes out in less than a month on Disney Plus. This looks great. It looks like they've made a kids show for kids, starring kids. I like the vibe. I like the retro 80s vibe it's going for here. This just looks like it's fun. Like there's no fucking deep lore shit. It's just a bunch of kids stuck with this crazy Jedi on a fucking space adventure.
I mean, I could be down with that, but we were talking about this last night on the train. I can't get excited about Star Wars anymore.
John, the only reason why I'm excited for this is John Watts, and like I like John Watts. With that said, yeah, Star Wars is diluted because they just announced last night episodes 10 through 12 are happening under Simon Kinberg, and we'll see. We will see, just because every fucking movie that has supposed to come out hasn't.
Right.
The only movie that's coming out, because I know, and the only reason I'm saying it's coming out is because they're shooting it right now, is Mandalorian and Grogu. And those two are literally the only things holding up Star Wars, quite honestly. Otherwise, like, yeah, this looks fun, man. I hope for the best. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be amazing. I'm just saying it looks good.
Yeah,
and I'm always down. I'm always happy to see Jude Law, especially Jude Law playing a crazy fucking Jedi.
Look, I don't wish for anything Star Wars to fail, but it's got a long road to hoe. It's got a.
I mean, this is geared towards kids,
right?
It's geared towards kids, so I'm gonna give it a little more leeway. Carrie Condon's in it, and the dude from Tunde Adumpe from TV on the Radio is in it as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm giving it some leeway, man. December 7th. No, it's either the 6th or the 7th. It's dropping December. Look, hope it's good. That's all I can say. Only reason why I've kept Disney Plus and not canceled it outright is because Daredevil's dropping in March.
It's fair. It's fair.
So, with that, let's get into our main review.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blurds feature film review.
All right, let's get into Juror number 2. This is currently playing in 30 theaters. This weekend, it's going to expand to 40 theaters because apparently Warner Brothers is so surprised this did well. And it's just like, well, man, it's a Clint Eastwood movie. Right. And walking out of it, I'm like, dog, this is Clint Eastwood's best movie since like probably $1 Million Baby. Because that was like the last one where I was like really like, holy shit, this is amazing.
I mean, look, Clint Eastwood has a built-in fan base. People who love Clint Eastwood films are gonna, if they can get out of the house, they'll show up for it.
Also, like watching this, I was like, this is a thriller that we just don't get anymore, and it's well made, well written. Like, it's such a shame that WB's just like, meh, fuck this. I'm like, yo, if Clint is 92 or 94. He wants to make another movie. And I have a feeling his next movie will, for the first time in over 40, 50 years, won't be at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, because like the utter disrespect for a cinema legend, right? Like going from actor to award-winning director. Like that doesn't
multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Come on. Unforgiven. He won for Unforgiven. He won for Mystic River. He won for $1 Million Baby. Like, I'm not the biggest Mystic River fan, and even I'm like, yeah, Mystic River is like, come on, man.
Right.
Yo, even the movies that don't get awards still make money. Like American Sniper is one of the highest grossing R-rated movies of all time. Gran Torino made mad money.
Right.
People like The Mule.
Yeah, The Mule's fine. Like, I've never actually hated a Clint Eastwood film.
J. Edgar.
I never saw J. Edgar.
Yeah. Invictus is decent.
Right.
Hereafter is a movie I only saw once.
I forgot all about the Hereafter.
Yeah. Look. Again, this is such a good movie, and like it cost less than $35 million to make, and I'm like, y'all could have easily made that motherfucker back.
I mean,
easily.
They need
Easily.
winners. They need winners.
Badly.
Yeah.
Badly. I went yesterday, so Thursday morning. I went Thursday morning at 11 a.m. That motherfucker was more than halfway full. And there's people of all ages in there. Like, there was teenagers in that motherfucker.
Right,
and
so
everybody was in there locked in.
because, you know, it doesn't always have to be a franchise picture. Like, we used to make real movies.
Yeah, man. The fact that New York City, one of the biggest city in America, only has it playing in 2 theaters.
Right? I mean,
One where the premiere theater in New York, and I don't want to give it away because I'm tired of all you motherfuckers going there. I'm trying to keep that a secret for me and all the rich white people who go there. Well, IMAX blew up that location, and downtown Brooklyn. That's the only other place it's playing.
which is, you know, which is a shame. You know, because if it's that good, right? Like the studios are complaining that they're not making any money in the theaters, but then you're not backing films,
Right,
supporting films that would do good in a theater.
right, man. Because Conclave, once again in its second week last week, overperformed. Like, Market Fair has it on one of its biggest screens this weekend, and it's already half full the entire weekend. So think about it. A movie about people scheming to be the next pope has been making money hand over fist. There's an audience for adult thrillers, and that's what I miss, is like a good thriller. And this is a good thriller. Is it as good as Conclave? Fuck no. Conclave's on another level, but this is well worth your time. And Nicholas Hoult, man, it's just good to see him in a movie where he's like not a villain or in some makeup or some shit like that.
Right. We used to make movies like this. The late 90s, early 2000s were nothing but like fucking thrillers.
I would do anything for a fucking trash, a piece of shit trash thriller like Twisted. That movie sucks. I would do anything to get like 2 Twisteds a year. Fuck, even give me a double Jeopardy.
Oh yeah, man. Oh fuck, Ashley Judd. When Ashley Judd was a thing.
What? Yeah, she was the queen of thrillers, and all of her thrillers were absolute trash.
Right.
The only thriller that she was in that was great
was
Kiss the Girls, and that's because that's an Alex Ross movie.
Yeah.
Or Alex Cross. Excuse me. And you know what? I really hope that Amazon show is good.
I mean, I have faith in Aldous Hodge. Like he's fucking fantastic.
It's not him I don't have faith in. It's whoever is executing that. 'Cause
they made Reacher work.
Listen, remember, in theory, the Tyler Perry Alex Cross movie could have worked because he physically is Alex Cross, and that dude is a good actor.
Right.
Just not Rob Cohen and not that script.
You know, I never saw the Tyler Perry.
Man, it's fucking terrible. Also, I see why that killed Matthew Fox's career, because he is not a good villain. You watch that and you're just like, oh man, you are doing a lot. Like, he took that performance and dialed it up to a 12 when it needs to be like an 8.
Look, it's Rob Cohen, man. Like, they took the Fast and the Furious from him. You know, like,
he didn't want to come back. That's what's crazy. He didn't want to come back. And 8 was supposed to be the last one. And apparently fucking Vin Diesel went out of his way to try to get him back, and he still said no. He said no to doing the Triple X sequel. And I'm like, bro, you're Rob Cohen. Who the fuck are you? You're Rob Cohen. You made The Skulls. You made Dragonheart. Dragonheart's cool. And that's the only movie by Rob Cohen I could say is cool. Dude, you did the third Mummy movie.
Right.
The one where you replaced Rachel Weisz with Maria Bello. How the the casting choice where we're all like, excuse me?
I'm fucking Stealth?
Yeah, man. Like, who the fuck? The Girl Next Door with Jennifer Lopez? Who the fuck are you, bro? Rob Cohen. You too good for fucking... Yeah, fuck out of my face. Anyways, juror number 2. The one thing I love about this movie is like the moral quandary you're in, because you understand where the character's coming from. Because on the one hand, you're like, because I don't want to. Let me just give you the basic premise. This guy who has a wife, and his wife's in a complicated pregnancy. Nicholas Hoult. His wife's played by Zoe Deutsch. Zoe Deutsch has a complicated history with pregnancies. Like, this is their third pregnancy. He's afraid to leave her because he just wants to be there for her. So he gets called into jury duty, and he comes up with all these lame excuses to get out of jury duty. I'm like, yeah, of course the judge's not going to let you go, because when he gave those couple excuses, the whole audience laughed, because I was just like, yeah, dude, you're supposed to be insane to get out of jury duty. Like, I've been thrown out of jury duty just because I was just like, this motherfucker did it. Like, I'm sitting there insane. I'm like, this white boy killed her, and they're like, yeah, you gotta go, bro. You can't work on this jury. And I'm like, yes, on the way out. Yeah. So he gets caught, and come to find out, the case that he's on, he committed the crime.
Oh,
he accidentally, on a dark, stormy night, by accident, killed a girl, and he thought he hit a deer.
All right.
So he actually comes to find out he killed that woman, and he's sitting there the whole time racking his guilt, like, I don't want to go to jail because I got a baby on the way, but also, like, I don't want to send an innocent man to prison for the rest of his life. So, like, you're sitting there right with him because you feel his pain, because he's just a normal dude like us. And in that situation, we would do the same exact things he's doing, because we'd be like, oh, fuck, man, I want to come forward and save this dude's life, but also I ain't trying to go to prison for the rest of my life.
Yo, that's a great premise.
Yes, and the way it plays out throughout this movie, you're just sitting there like, and it just keeps escalating and escalating and escalating.
Oh, shit, that sounds great.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, you guys, this, out of all the Clint Eastwood movies to come out, like Richard Jewell, The Mule, Cry Macho, y'all decide to bury this one. This is the one.
Oh man, that sounds like an award winner right there. That sounds.
Yeah, apparently now they're gonna try and give it a quiet award seasons push.
Okay, I'm like, all right, quiet.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, so you motherfuckers still don't want to invest any money into this? Okay. Yeah, hey, fuck you. Yeah, man. And if the studio believed in this is easily a $50 million earner.
Right. Like,
easily.
At least making its money back and some, right?
Yeah, just here, because overseas it'll probably make like 40-30 million. Right. So altogether, it would have broke even and earned its money back.
You know, Warner Brothers be Warner Brothers.
Yeah, man, because like I said, everybody walked out of that motherfucker just like, oh boy. Yes, like everybody was locked in, and everybody walked out just quiet, like, it's a good movie, but damn.
I can't wait to watch this shit.
Yeah, Juror number 2. Like, if it's playing near you, because it's playing in 30 theaters, and if you're in one of the cities it's playing in, because it's all across America, just don't think it's just New York and LA. It's all across the nation. So if you're lucky to live in one of the 40 theaters it's playing in, definitely go. I don't even think it's playing in Philly.
Oh, that's a damn shame. Like,
isn't that wild? Like, one of the biggest cities.
That's a major market.
Yeah, and it's not even playing there.
I don't know. I hope the people in Duluth enjoy it.
Man, fuck, yo. I'm on Zavolov, where I wake up every day like, is this the day he's finally gone? Because remember, there was those days I'd wake up and be like, is this the day Kevin's gone? Is this the day Kevin's gone?
But it never happened.
It did eventually.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other Kevin. I thought you were talking about Feige.
No.
Yeah.
No, Tushihara. Wee! That's all that motherfucker was concerned about. Does it make him go wee? Here's $300 million.
We
Whee!
and sexual assault.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into our main review. I rewatched the first one, Gladiator 1. And I
Right.
just want to say, I bought the 4K for $20 off of Amazon. First and foremost, movie holds up. Still entertaining. Should have won Best Picture? Rewatching it now? Absolutely not. It's just a good historical epic. I want to say real quick, that 4K transfer and the DTS sound mix, that shit is amazing. Like, amazing. Gladiator 1 is a serious movie with a capital S. Gladiator 2 is just a movie, and it is literally a soap opera for men. So think like Yellowstone or Sons of Anarchy. That is what Gladiator 2 is. And Denzel knows exactly what fucking movie he's in, because every line reading he gives in this is perfect. Like every single line reading he gives.
Yeah. I'm still processing Gladiator 2, right? And we've talked about this offline. I think Gladiator 1 was such a hit because we didn't know what we were getting, right? It was like we
Also,
hadn't gotten
by that point, it's been like 30, 40 years since we had a
Something
sword
like
and
that.
sandals epic.
Right, exactly. And so when this came on the scene, and with the scale and the scope and like the digital effects wizardry,
Right.
it became
CG still holds up, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was watching it yesterday. The CG still holds up. It was a cultural touchstone because it had been a couple of decades since we got anything like that. But just like how The Matrix opened up the floodgates for all movies like that happened within that 10-year period, same thing with Gladiator.
Because
with
we got Lord of the Rings.
You got Lord of the Rings. You got
Ridley did Kingdom of Heaven, and I'll be real with you, the director's cut is one of the best movies he's ever made. Like, it's better than Gladiator.
I haven't seen the director's cut, so
yeah, Kingdom of Heaven. It's 4 hours, moves by fast, and I shit you not when I say it's a totally different movie.
Right,
Like,
but
you watch a theatrical cut, and you're just like, the fuck is this? And then you watch the director's cut, and you're just like, oh, they fucked you over, bro. Like, this is the movie that should have been released.
Right, and like you had all the TV shows like the Spartacuses,
yes,
and the
300,
Legion, right. So, since Gladiator came out, we've gotten these large scale or mid budget. They didn't spend that kind of money, sword and sandals. So watching this, I do agree with you. It is a soap opera for men, right?
Right.
And it's good. It's really good. I just had a hard time connecting with it like I connected with the first one.
Yeah, I think the emotional core is missing. And I think that is the biggest problem for me is the script. And I don't understand why Ridley likes working with David Scarpa, because David Scarpa also wrote Napoleon, and Napoleon fucking sucks.
Yeah. I didn't feel like a connect, like in the first one, we learn who Maximus is, right?
Right.
In this one, we assume, like, we're thrown in it, and we know we're expected to care for Lucius because he was in
the
like,
first one.
First movie,
Right.
And so that's how you start off the movie, and it just didn't really have that connection.
And everybody's blaming Paul Mescal, but like he's doing the movie's asking him to do a lot, and he's doing a lot with very little. That's the problem. There's like very little for him to work with. And watching this, I remember being mad that they didn't bring back Spencer Treat Clark, because he's the literal right age for this character.
Right.
And watching this, I was like, oh yeah, I understand why they went with Paul Mescal, because you need somebody with screen presence and that has that quiet, intense rage that he has.
Yeah, and yeah. So like the Lucius, or I didn't even catch the dude's name, like his
Lucius
pseudonym.
Verus.
No, like his fake name, like his.
Oh yeah. Who gives a shit?
Right. He comes off as an asshole
Yeah,
throughout the most of the movie, and that's not Paul Mescal's fault, right?
that's literally the script.
That's the script, right?
Because the
Uh,
script doesn't do any favors to the only two characters who return, also, which is his mother, Lucia.
right.
Connie Nielsen does not look to have aged in 25 years because it's been 25 years since Gladiator 1. And you're just like, holy shit, watching it. I'm just like, damn, girl, what the fuck have you been doing? Have you been like bathing in the blood of babies?
No, she looks great, but like, yeah,
And
she's
she's
a
given
MacGuffin,
nothing to do.
right?
And Derek Jacobi, who was Senator Gracchus, he was like the only good senator in the first movie.
Right.
He's back in this doing the same exact thing, except in a much smaller role.
Right. So the writing is I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's not good, right? It's
Right.
not.
And here's the thing, because I'm just gonna come out and say this now. I was scared for the first half. Like I was very entertained. I was very with
Right.
it, but I was also scared because I was like, "Fuck, man, this is one of these sequels where it's just a remake of the first one." Because like the first
Same story
hour,
beats. Yeah.
I was like the first hour, I was just like, "Damn, bro, this is just the first one. We're just going through the motions of doing the first. Like this is one of those legacy sequels where it's literally a fucking remake of the first one." And then it takes a turn, and I was like, and when that turn happens and the movie starts doing its own thing, I was like, thank fucking God.
Right. And like, let's give a shout out to Pedro Pascal, who is the best written character in the whole entire fucking movie.
Nah, that's still Denzel's character. He's
Okay,
still
all right. All right.
but he's
Denzel
also
and
not
Pedro.
really given much to do either.
Yeah.
Like I would say the only thing that's better in this than the first one is number one, the fights. And that's obvious because they've had 25 years of advancements.
Right.
And number two, the only thing that's better in this than the first one is the political machinations. Like in the first one, I feel like it's more cohesive in the first one with the
Right.
story that they're trying to do. But in this one, it was much more compelling because it felt like, all right, let's stop the movie. We got to eat our vegetables to move the plot along. And this one, it just felt like I was in it. Like the political shit, I was just like, oh my God, this not only is this like exciting to watch, but it's so timely, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah. This movie's gonna do well because both sides are gonna use this to
Oh yeah.
as a flag.
Oh yeah.
Because it is super, super political. Right.
I will say the first one, even though it was 25 years earlier, the CG in the first one's better because there's some CG monkeys and CG sharks that don't look too good, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. It looked CG, right?
Yeah.
In the first one, you had a hard time kind of discerning what was real and what was,
CG.
CG.
And they used real tigers in the first one too. Like, come on, man.
Right. In this one, like, oh yeah, like that whole entire storming of Namibia or whatever, like that. That was all CG. It's like you can tell, like the way the water hits.
Right. I will give Ridley this. There's less CG in this than most modern blockbusters. Like you could tell they tried to do as much possible practically, and I
Right.
appreciate that. And it is on just a scale level and scope level, it is bigger than the first one.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's bigger. It's more bombastic. Not the score so much, but like
because Hans did not come back for this one. He's just like, I don't want to do it because I don't want to repeat my work on the first one, and I'll let one of my because Hans Zimmer has 10 acolytes that do all various
Right.
movies. Like Lorne Balfe is the one who does Mission Impossible. He's a Hans Zimmer acolyte. So one of his acolytes, Henry Gregerson Williams, he's
Right.
done a lot of DreamWorks movies where you're like, oh, those are great scores. I greatly prefer this score over the score of the first movie because it's much more subdued, not as bombastic, and like, no offense, man, Hans's movie in the first one, like he even said, he's like, I'm trying to emulate Richard Wagner. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, but it's so bombastic. And up until he started working with Nolan, I'll be real, all of his scores sound the same.
Yeah.
Like it sounds,
Yes.
at parts, the Gladiator score sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
you
it
can't.
sounds like Con. Or it
Yeah,
sounds like a Bruckheimer film that he did.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. So Denzel is fantastic in this.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
Like I cannot wait to see this again just to watch him and his character.
Right. Right. And don't let the accent, like, because everyone was clowning him, online for having that New York accent. It in the movie, it doesn't sound out of place, right? Because everybody's talking with a different accent. Right?
Also, look, for as much grief this movie's getting about historical inaccuracies, the first one wasn't historically accurate either.
Right.
And they're not telling a true fucking story. Neither one of these. Like there's sure certain characters in this did exist, really. Did
Right.
exist in time. But a good 90% of these characters are just fictional. So who gives a shit? If it's not based on it's not like Napoleon where the historical inaccuracies bothered me because I'm like, this shit happened, bro.
Right.
This shit never happened. So who gives a fuck?
Well, this is not a biopic, so
Right.
right. So
Man. Like,
it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good time at the movies. That's what you want. Yeah, and like I said, I think I need some more time to process it. I think I need to see it again to see if I really, really enjoyed it. But all the parts are there. All the parts are there, and even as a sequel to a 25-year-old movie, what we've been getting lately are these dumb callbacks to the first movie that are just put in there for fan service. Here, the callbacks make sense, even though it relates too heavily on the legacy of Maximus. I get it.
But I mean, that motherfucker was literally like he did like kill an emperor, bro.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, as far as studio blockbusters, big Hollywood blockbusters, which I'm a sucker for, especially epics like this, this is best of the year just because, like, y'all, this movie tries. And it tries in a way I haven't seen from Ridley in a minute. You could see he was locked in.
Right.
And everybody was locked in. So I appreciate that. Like, you could tell they were making a real movie here.
Right.
So I appreciate that. Like, it's one of the better movies of the year because of that. I just don't think it's awards worthy or that it'll be like, will it be top 10? Maybe. I gotta see it again. Maybe. Right. But like, yeah, you could do so much worse than this is what I'm trying to say, because we have done so much worse than this.
I actually expected less than what was delivered.
Yeah, honestly. Because, the earlier screenings, everybody's walking out like, right. And walking out last night, I'm like, it's good. It's good. Like, I enjoyed it. And the more I think about it, the more I like it. Not enough for me to go like, it's great. It's going to stay at, it's good. But it's on I got to see how far it's good could take itself on another watch. Because it is good.
Right. And like, we've said this before, this year, good is a fucking high benchmark.
High mark. Right? Yes. And look, I'll be real with you. Even if this came out last year, still would be better than a majority of films from last year too.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I really had a problem with is the very, very end.
Yes. So me and you, we talked about this, that we had that problem because that felt like that coda, because it's a 3-minute scene they tack on at the end of the movie that's just basically a coda and a setup for 3.
Right, but it made no sense, and it ended so abruptly.
Yeah, and yeah, that's the thing, is like they had an ending, and then they tacked this on, and it just stops, and I'm just like, the only thing that's good from that is it's the only there's very dreamlike, surreal, impressionistic moments throughout the first Gladiator that's missing from here, and that comes back in that coda.
Right, but like it doesn't really make sense because the Lucius wouldn't have that same vision of the fields, right? That his
I mean,
right.
I don't know what they're trying to do there.
Right. I mean, they're setting up for a third one. Like this is obviously going to get another sequel.
Oh yeah, because this is gonna make money. Because they already said like this and Wicked are coming out the same day.
Right.
Wicked is going to open, they said, to 130 million, and then this will open till 80, maybe 88. And I was just like, oh, 88 million for this? That's a success. And it's going to leg out because people are.
It's a holiday season.
And people, like, let's be real, regular audiences are going to enjoy this. Like, let's 100%. Be real. Like, this is the first movie. Here's what this movie has over the first movie. The first movie is not a crowd pleaser. This is a crowd pleaser.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. You even have like even the battle at the end, even the fight scene at the end, was actually more exciting than the final fight.
Because you knew what was gonna happen because like fucking Commodore stabbed him
right
before the fight even began. So you're like, oh well, I mean, it's over, bro. Like, there's no way out of this.
Right.
And that's why it took 25 years to get this sequel, because they wrote themselves into a corner because the original screenwriters decided to kill off Maximus, and in the first few drafts of that script he was supposed to live and lead Rome into a new age, and once the movie became what it was, they realized they fucked up.
Well, but like I don't have a problem with that because honestly, Gladiator didn't need a sequel.
Oh no, no, it didn't. But I'm glad it got one.
Right. Yeah, like this is a crowd pleaser because there's clearly defined good guys and bad guys.
Right.
And like the bad guys are really, really bad. Right? Like I hated those motherfuckers.
I was hoping one bad guy would stick around for the third one.
Right.
And I read Ridley's comments on the third movie where he's like, it's going to be like The Godfather Part 2, where a man is dealing with power that he does not want, and he has to figure out the right way to use this power.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, but how is that Gladiator?
Right.
Like, Gladiator is Coliseum fights.
And we'll find out in 2 years, 3 at the most.
Oh yeah, because if this is not the next movie he's working on, it's his Alien movie he wants to do badly. But I have a feeling like the next movie Ridley's gonna do is Gladiator 3.
Yeah, this is gonna probably take precedent.
Yeah, especially since people are gonna eat this up, dog.
It's a good movie, and people
it's just
going
not
to enjoy
the first one. And I have a feeling we are different, but I have a feeling general audiences will probably like this one better than the first one because it's much showier, much flashier, and much more crowd pleasing.
Yeah, like you have it's. I'm not gonna say it's a happy ending, but it's
Yeah, man. Because even till this day, there's people who come up to me like, man, the ending of Gladiator bums me out.
It's like, well, yeah, but I mean, it's a good ending, right?
Want to say, New York Movie Guru asked one of my colleagues last night why Russell Crowe wasn't in this, and like, I could not stop laughing. I'm still laughing at that shit.
Oh, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Speaking of, before we go, there's two things I want to touch on. One, I'm glad they used the end titles music, because that's the only music cue from the first movie I really liked, was that music cue they play over the credits.
Right.
They do that again for this one. They play the same music cue over the credits.
Right.
And then this other thing I want to talk about is I did not like the opening credits, that AI painted shit.
I knew what they were doing, and it was an interesting way to try to recap the first movie,
but it doesn't work. It does not
right,
work.
Right, because it's honestly it's too abstract.
Yes. So you're watching it, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Right. You have no frame of reference. So as a recap, it doesn't work. Right?
Whereas they did that perfect. What did that perfectly was Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Where they had Alex Ross's paintings recapping the events over the opening credits.
Yeah.
Also, did not like the title card. I was like, fuck y'all for that. Fuck y'all for that, bro. But you'll say, go ahead.
No, like people will see. Like, it's just like,
Will say I'm excited to see this again in Dolby because I got a screening coming up at Dolby headquarters in New York. So I'm excited to see it in that screening room.
Right.
With Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos with those 88 speakers. Because this is one of the rare times I'm going to tell y'all, see this shit in Dolby over IMAX.
Yeah, I mean it deserves to be seen big, but
yes,
honestly, the
kind of wish we saw it in Dolby.
You want that sound design. You want that you want to feel that experiential sound in a theater.
Also, it's a long movie, and after a while sitting in those seats, my legs start to lock up.
Right.
Especially when somebody's sitting in front of you who's leaning all the way back.
Right.
Look, I've done it before, but it's never bothered me because I'm really locked in, like Oppenheimer or Interstellar. Be comfortable for Gladiator 2 is what I'm trying to say. I mean, go see it. Go see it in Dolby.
I mean, it doesn't drag, but you do feel the 2.5 hours. Like it's just like, okay, let's wrap it up.
10 minutes shorter than the first one, which is wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, on the 4K that I bought, it has the theatrical cut and the extended cut. So I watched the extended cut, and I'll be real with you, I hadn't seen the movie before then in over 10 years, so I couldn't tell you what was added or what wasn't added. I had no idea. Nothing really stood out to me.
Did they add the tigers? Because I know they shot the tiger scene.
Oh, the tiger was in the theatrical cut too.
Was it? I can say
that. The one thing that they wanted to do in the first one that they did in this one was the rhino. Because they have tests on the DVD of the rhino, and you watch the test footage, you're like, yeah. And then you watch the rhino in this, and you're like, man, the rhino is the best CG creature in this fucking movie.
The rhino scene's hot. It really is.
Yo, dog, that's how I want to enter into every room now, is standing on top of a rhino with my arms out. That shit was hard as fuck. My man, he wasn't riding it. He wasn't sitting on that motherfucker. He was standing on that motherfucker with his arms out.
He was Teen Wolf in that shit.
Yeah, the rhino scene's hard. And y'all seen this in the trailer. The naval battle, that shit's crazy too.
Yeah. It works. It works.
By the way, a lot of people are like, they didn't do that. Well, guess what? I went home. I Googled some shit last night. They did that shit.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't have sharks, but they had naval battles in Colosseum. So, fuck you.
It may not be historically accurate 100%, but it has to veer more towards truth than fiction. Also,
again, most of these characters are fictional anyway. Who gives a shit? The fact that you guys are still on this shit about the first movie and now this one, I'm like, yo, this is literally, both these movies, when it comes down to it, are revenge stories.
100%.
Relax. Really, seriously, relax.
If you want historically accurate, read a fucking book.
Yeah, man. There's sword and sandal movies from way back in the day that are more historically accurate. You can watch those, Spartacus is out there, Ben-Hur's out there. Come on, man. Fuck off.
This is enjoyment. This is
pure entertainment, right? These are meant to be big, epic action, historical action movies.
Right.
With a parentheses and quotation marks around the word historical.
Yeah. Historical is it took place at a time that actually existed.
Yes. Relax. All of you guys gotta chill the fuck out, man. But yeah, Gladiator 2, I'll do another review once I see it again in a couple of weeks because it's still not dropping for a couple of weeks.
It's good. We'll see if it moves up to great. I don't think so, but
I think it'll stay at good. It's just what level of good will it be at on a second watch?
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
But as far as best support, we still have a lot of movies to see. But as far as I'm concerned,
Denzel's got it.
Yeah, best supporting actor. It's a wrap. Like it really is a wrap. Yeah. That wait till you see it. Yeah, wait till you see this performance. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like honestly, all the even Fred Heisinger and Joseph Quinn as the twins, even they're killing it. Like Joseph Quinn's having a good year, man.
The acting is not a problem there. Like that's not the thing.
It's the fucking script, man.
Right.
Like that script. I cannot wait to see Paul Mescal, and because I've seen him in lead roles before, but I can't wait to see him in a movie like this with a better script.
Yeah,
because I think him and Ridley can create magic just with a better script.
Yeah, 100%. Like
because he's a great actor. I've seen him in other shit. Like now I'm gonna go watch Normal People. Like I'm gonna boot up Hulu and watch that shit because that's how him and Daisy Edgar Jones broke off. But I know him primarily from After Sun. Because remember I was praising that movie? I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Everybody saw After Sun is like, put this motherfucker in movies. That's why I know he's capable of doing this. And like, I get what he's trying to portray here. And he's doing it to the best of his abilities. It's literally the script.
They're giving him nothing to, like he's doing a lot with a little.
Yeah, because everybody keeps saying Paul Mescal, he was miscast, or Paul Mescal is not doing a good job. I'm like, no, it's the fucking script, you dumbasses. Like he's acting his ass off, but it's literally the script.
Yeah, 100%.
And you could see the muscle he put on for this motherfucker. Because you watch him in other shit, and you're like, oh yeah, nice Irish lad. And this one, he like, I was like, fuck, man, like that there is a fight, a bare knuckle fight in this. And I was just like, oh yeah, this motherfucker looks like he would tear your face off.
Well, he's a beast.
Yeah, yeah, man. And he had no brass knuckles. The other dude had brass knuckles, like a
Still
bitch.
took him on.
Yeah, hell yeah, like a bitch. Anyway, that is episode 138.
We're the Film Blurds. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurds podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.